Okay.
All right, what are we making today, Kelly?
Today we are making a springtime cheesecake. I'm going to use Oreos to make a crust. So I take about 15 Oreos. And we're going to crush those up. You want them really finely crushed. Actually looking really good. To that, I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of melted butter. Okay. Smells really good. Just kind of make sure all the butter's kind of mixed in with the Oreos. And then what we're going to do, this over, and we're going to pour it into our springform pan. Now with this springform pan, I have already lined it with a piece of parchment paper. So the crust is not going to be very thick. You don't need it to be because it's going to be this lovely cheesecake. So then what you're going to do, kind of spread the crumbs around a little bit. And then the best thing to do is to take the back of a spoon. And what you need to do is you just press them evenly. Make sure all your holes are filled. And while you're doing this, you should have your oven preheating to 375 because you're going to kind of give this crust a little pre-bake. Try and get it kind of pressed down as evenly as possible. Okay, we're going to put that in there. So now all you need to do is put this in the oven, and you're going to let it cook for about 10 minutes, maybe a little less depending on your oven. All right, now we're going to start to make the filling. So we need 4 bricks of cream cheese, and you have to remember to take it out ahead of time because you want it to be room temperature when you start to work with it. If you have your cream cheese at room temperature, it's going to mix in a lot easier. So we have our cream cheese into the bowl. We need 2 cups of sugar. And then we also need a little bit of flour to kind of help bind it all together. You need 3 tablespoons. And all-purpose flour is fine. What you want to do is, here's this guy here, get that back in there. Going to start mixing this. Start out slow, you can make it a little faster.
Sounds like your crust is ready.
Yep, the crust is ready. Alright, bring the crust out, let it sit and cool while we're working on the filling. Okay, continuing on with our filling here. There we go. Don't want to over mix it, so you just make sure that the first two are incorporated together. Scrape down the sides again. Okay, so we've got this going. We've got to make sure that we turn our oven down from 375 down to 325. We want it to cool off a bit. Okay, so next what you're going to be adding is some lemon zest and some lemon juice. You're going to need 1 teaspoon of lemon zest. Make sure it's a really nice full teaspoon of lemon zest. Nice and packed in there. And that's pretty much perfect right there. Alright, and also what you're going to need 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. One thing you can remember to do is kind of roll your lemon and help release the juice for when you go to squeeze it. That's good for that. Okay. So now you can take and add your lemon juice and your lemon zest to your cheesecake mixture. And you are going to need 4 teaspoons of vanilla. 1 teaspoon, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, we're going to mix this again. Make sure everything's mixed in. Also going to need a 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. There we go. A little stir in. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to clean up a little bit here. Get mixing on low. And then we're going to slowly add 1 egg at a time until we have all 6 of our eggs incorporated into the batter. Okay, we need our sour cream. Now we've got a 1/2 cup of sour cream here to add. Stop for a minute. Bring this up. We're going to kind of scrape down the sides. Okay, just let that mix. All right, got a nice creamy batter. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take and divide the batter up between the 2 bowls. And we're actually going to color the batter and make it some pretty springtime colors. This guy out of here. Just divide it the best you can. It doesn't have to be perfectly even. Okay, so for colors, we decided to go with just a pale pink and kind of a teal green. So we're only going to need a small amount of coloring. All right. don't even have to mix it very much. You can kind of leave it as a marbled color. So what we have to do is we're going to bake the cheesecake in a water bath. In order to keep the water from getting into the crust and the cheesecake itself, I am actually using a crock pot liner. Alright, so right now we're boiling the water to put around the cheesecake. In the meantime, we're going to start filling our pan. So I'm just going to take scoops and kind of randomly put them into the pan. And then I'll alternate with my pink batter. Okay, so we've put the cheesecake in the oven, and now we're going to let it cook. We're going to bake it for about an hour and a half. You want to make sure that you don't over bake it. So when you bring it out, you want it to look mostly solid, but the middle of the cheesecake can still be jiggly. Once you take it out of the oven, you're going to leave it in the hot water bath. You're going to sit and let it cool for 45 minutes before you touch it.